Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, I've got a very different backdrop for today, and that is because I'm going to be talking about the franchise that often gets forgotten. Between Star Wars and Star Trek and all the other sci-fi and fantasy stuff out there, this one usually gets pushed by the wayside and is seen as something of a cult classic. What I'm talking about is Stargate SG-1. Not only is this one of the forgotten franchises, it's also a franchise that I happen to be a pretty hardcore fan of. Now granted, I haven't been able to watch the series since the DVDs that my dad has kind of went, but I'm planning on rewatching it soon, and maybe I'll give you guys an episode-by-episode review if you want it. The film Stargate, proposing that parasitical aliens built the Great Pyramid and populated Earth, came out in October 1994 and starred Kurt Russell as the ex-Colonel Jack O'Neill and David Spader as the stuttering but brilliant archaeologist/linguist Daniel Jackson. The film had mixed reviews but grossed an impressive $1.9 million at the box office worldwide, making it a success, though not in the same scale as the other Star franchises like Star Trek and Star Wars. 3 years later, in 1997, the Canadian-American TV series Stargate SG-1 launched on Showtime. It recast Colonel O'Neill with MacGyver's Richard Dean Anderson and Daniel Jackson with Michael Shanks. Introduced to the main cast were Amanda Tapping as Captain Samantha Carter, an astrophysicist who also happened to have air combat experience as well as Special Forces training, Don S. Davis as the CO, General George Hammond, initially humorless and close to retirement, but soon becoming as close to the team as a father figure, and finally Christopher Judge as Teal'c, a stern former guard of one of many Goa'uld, the series' main villains. By the way, the Goa'uld, these guys were a race of egomaniacal parasites. They look something like nightmarish worms or snakes, and they need a human host to survive. And once inside the human, they take over and pose as gods from Earth mythology to be worshipped and obeyed without question. Yeah, pretty nasty. The show ran for 10 seasons and spawned 2 TV movies and 3 spin-offs: Stargate Atlantis, Stargate Universe, and the short-lived Stargate Origin. So getting into the story, SG-1 focuses on the main team of explorers, most military and some scientists and archaeologists, that explore the galaxy through a series of stargates, which connect to each other via active, stable wormholes. In exploring the galaxy, they encounter different problems, both security-related and moral, as they try to set up friendly relations with hundreds of other cultures and sometimes procure technology that can help in their ongoing fight against the Goa'uld. The 4 main protagonists all have very different goals and personalities in this quest, making for some interesting interpersonal relationships. Captain Carter, later promoted to Major and then Lieutenant Colonel, is initially a complete tomboy who often lapses into long spiels of technobabble. But she also has a heart as well as a strong sense of justice and seems most open to the children that they meet in their travels. Daniel Jackson initially only joins SG-1 in an effort to find his wife Sade, who is taken as a host by a Goa'uld. Finding so many important historical things in their travels later motivate him to stay with the program. His strong morals and care for people and culture of all kinds leads him to become something of the team's conscience, and facilitates frequent crashes with the team's leader, Colonel O'Neill. Colonel Jack O'Neill is strict and military, but not without a wacky sense of humor. Or a heart. He is somewhat disillusioned and, to be honest, just a bit off. He's not afraid of being bluntly honest, even if it gets him into trouble. But he also has a heart, and shows this in his interactions with children in later seasons. The only reason he gets away with so much is because he's so good at what he does. Rounding out the SG-1 team is Teal'c, a Jaffa, who's a human-like alien with a pouch in which to carry a larval Goa'uld. His main goals in joining the Stargate program include spreading the word that the Goa'uld are false gods, and freeing his people from their enslavement. Initially humorless, he eventually learns to warm up and sees SG-1 as an extension of his family. His fighting skills are deadly, his loyalty unwavering, kind of like Worf from Star Trek, but with a gold emblem in his head. And of course his catchphrase is, Indeed. Now, there's way too many storylines to go into now, but what I like most about Stargate SG-1 are the character depictions and growth throughout the seasons, the close collaboration with the Air Force and positive depiction of service members. It was actually part of what motivated me to think seriously about joining the Air Force when I was younger. I know there wasn't really a Stargate program, but I have so much respect for the Air Force as a branch of the military that I really wanted to join, but looking back on it, I probably never would have passed the physical since I probably have asthma. And the only thing that kept me from following through and going to a recruiter's office was the fact that once I got in, I couldn't take my dog with me, and she's pretty much my life. Something else I really like about Stargate SG-1 is the wide range of episodes. They go from action-packed to mysterious to romantic, funny. They've also got quite a few creepy episodes, like, ugh, especially with those replicators, the mechanical bugs. Oh gosh. But the show never took itself too seriously, unlike some other sci-fi shows I could mention. They knew some of their premises were wacky and they embraced it wholeheartedly. So yeah, that's basically a short rundown of my absolute favorite sci-fi TV series ever. I don't watch it as much as I would like, probably because I don't have all the seasons on DVD. I'm going to have to acquire that someday. But that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more family-friendly, geeky content, go ahead and click that little subscription button down below, and don't forget to check out the links in the description box. Question of the day. Have you ever seen Stargate, either the movie or any of the series? If so, what did you think? Go ahead and post a comment. As always, please keep things family-friendly. Maybe I'll bring you Bilbo Baggins next week if I can get a shooting script for that one done. But I've been having recurrent migraine headaches and also abdominal pain. I have no idea what's causing it. I have a few suspicions, but since I do not have a fever and it's not constantly terrible, my local clinic is only taking things that would be considered like almost an emergency, so I can't get it checked out unless it continues or gets worse. So yeah, the joys of being on government healthcare. Anyway, I'll see everybody again on Monday, either with Bilbo or something else, maybe something Lord of the Rings related. I don't know. I'm going to be doing a lot of Lord of the Rings videos once I start my yearly Lord of the Reads in July. Wow. I'm starting The Hobbit in only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 days. 4 days I start reading The Hobbit again. Yay! And I'll be reporting on the chapters, giving summaries, and doing a little bit of reading for you along the way, and probably incorporating some Lord of the Rings recipes like the lembas bread, etc., etc. Hopefully by the end of it, I'm hoping my fiance can join me, but if not, I'll understand why, and I promise you guys will get to meet him. But I promise he'll be showing up in later episodes. So, as always, be kind, God bless, and may the Force be with you. Wait a minute, am I supposed to say may the Force be with you, or I don't know of any catchphrase greeting that they use in Stargate, because I don't speak Goa'uld. Oh well. You don't want to spread negativity. You want to subscribe and click notifications.